The kingdom of Eldoria, a realm of unparalleled beauty and grandeur, where the sun kissed the rolling hills and the rivers sparkled like liquid diamonds. Yet, beneath its serene surface, Eldoria was a land scarred by ancient battles, where the echoes of clashing swords and the cries of fallen warriors still haunted the air. Whispers of forgotten magic lingered in the air, weaving through the misty forests and ancient ruins, hinting at a time when dragons soared the skies and wizards wielded unimaginable power. King Oberon, a man of relentless ambition, ruled this majestic land. His eyes, always burning with a fierce intensity, craved power, power beyond measure. He sought the legends of dragons, creatures of myth and might, whose very bones were said to hold untold power. Oberon believed that within the dragon bones lay the secret to an invincible army, an army that would be unstoppable, capable of conquering not just neighboring kingdoms, but the entire known world. His vision was grand, his ambition boundless. Driven by this insatiable hunger for power, he ordered the excavation of ancient burial grounds, sending teams of archaeologists and workers to unearth the remnants of these legendary beasts. His advisors, wise and cautious, warned him of the dangers. They spoke of curses and ancient prophecies, of powers that were best left undisturbed. But Oberon, blinded by his ambition, ignored their warnings. He dismissed the ancient prophecies as mere tales of old, relics of a bygone era. His obsession with power grew, consuming him. He saw only glory, a future where he stood as the supreme ruler, feared and revered by all. In his quest, he ventured into dark, ominous caves and eerie landscapes, places where few dared to tread. He did not see the darkness lurking beneath the surface, the hidden dangers that awaited him. He did not see the ancient evil, waiting, watching. An evil that had been dormant for centuries, biding its time, waiting for a moment of weakness, a moment when ambition would blind the eyes of the wise and open the gates to chaos. As King Oberon stood on the precipice of his ambition, overlooking his kingdom, he felt invincible. He believed that he was on the brink of achieving greatness, of unlocking the secrets that would make him a legend. But in the shadows, the ancient evil crept closer, its presence growing stronger with each passing day. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, signaling the storm that was about to unleash its fury upon Eldoria. In the grand hall, surrounded by his advisors, Oberon plotted his next move. The map of the kingdom lay spread out before him, marked with the locations of the dragon bones. He was determined to claim them all, to harness their power. The ancient scrolls, with their cryptic symbols and warnings, lay forgotten in a corner. Oberon paid them no heed, his mind consumed by visions of conquest and glory. With unwavering determination, he led his army, banners flying high, soldiers marching in unison. They moved towards their destiny, unaware of the darkness that followed them, the ancient evil that had been awakened by their king's ambition. The battle that ensued was fierce and unforgiving. Swords clashed and the roar of dragons filled the air. The ancient evil, now unleashed, wreaked havoc upon the land, turning Oberon's dreams of glory into a nightmare. As the dust settled, King Oberon stood amidst the ruins, his dreams shattered. The realization of his folly dawned upon him. His relentless ambition had brought not glory but ruin. The ancient prophecies had come true, and Eldoria was left to pick up the pieces of a kingdom torn apart by the very power he had sought to control. Strange occurrences began, subtle at first, easily dismissed. The villagers went about their daily lives, unaware of the growing darkness that loomed over them. The sun still rose and set, but something was amiss. The air felt heavier, and an unspoken tension gripped the hearts of the people, a chill in the air even in high summer. Crops withered, animals grew skittish. Then the whispers started, carried on the wind. They spoke of shadows, of unseen eyes. The villagers grew afraid. The once vibrant fields turned barren, and the livestock, usually so calm, became restless and uneasy. The whispers were faint at first, like a distant echo, but they grew louder with each passing day. Their fears turned to whispers. Whispers turned to rumors. The villagers gathered in small groups, their voices hushed and filled with dread. They spoke of dark omens and cursed lands. The fear was palpable, spreading like wildfire through the community. No one knew where the whispers came from, but everyone felt their chilling presence. The rumors reached the capital. Messengers rode day and night, carrying tales of the strange happenings to the heart of the kingdom. The news spread quickly, and soon the entire realm was abuzz with talk of the mysterious whispers. The capital, usually a place of order and control, was now filled with uncertainty and fear. Oberon paid them no heed. The king, confident in his power and wisdom, dismissed the rumors as mere peasant superstitions. He believed that the fears of the common folk were beneath his concern. His advisors too were skeptical, seeing no reason to divert their attention from the kingdom's grand plans. He dismissed them as peasant superstitions. The king's court echoed with laughter at the absurdity of the tales. They saw no threat in the whispers, no danger in the shadows. To them, it was all a figment of the villagers' overactive imaginations. Oberon was resolute in his belief that his kingdom was unassailable. He was focused on his grand vision. Oberon had dreams of expansion and glory. He spent his days in the war room, poring over maps and strategizing for future conquests. His mind was set on greatness, and he saw no reason to be distracted by what he considered trivial matters. His vision was clear, but his sight was clouded. His blindness would be his undoing. The signs were there, but Oberon refused to see them. His advisors, though loyal, began to worry. They saw the unease in the kingdom, the growing fear among the people. But the king's arrogance blinded him to the truth. He believed in his invincibility, and that belief would lead to his downfall. He would drag his kingdom down with him. The whispers were not just idle talk. They were a warning that went unheeded. The kingdom, once strong and prosperous, fell into chaos. Villages burned, castles were besieged, and the land was ravaged by war. Oberon's refusal to listen, to see the signs, brought ruin to all. The whispers in the wind had foretold it, but pride and hubris had sealed their fate. Sir Aldri, a knight known for his loyalty and courage, noticed the changes. He saw the fear in the eyes of the people. He heard the whispers. He felt the unease. It gnawed at him. Something was wrong. He decided to investigate. He rode out, leaving the grandeur of the capital behind. He ventured into the heartland. The villages were shrouded in fear. The land itself seemed to groan. He would soon discover the terrible truth. Aldri arrived at the village of Willow Creek, once vibrant, now eerily silent. The fields were barren. The air hung heavy and still. The villagers were gone, their homes abandoned. A single wooden doll lay in the center of the village square. Its eyes, two black beads, stared blankly ahead. Aldri felt a chill. This was not the work of bandits. This was something else, something sinister. His heart pounded. His hand instinctively rested on the pommel of his sword. Section 5. The Dragon's Curse. In the annals of history, there are tales that send shivers down the spine. Stories that are whispered in hushed tones. This is one such tale. An old woman emerged from the shadows, her presence almost ghostly in the dim light of the alley. She was known to the villagers as the keeper of ancient secrets, a woman who had seen more than most. Her eyes were wide with fear, reflecting the horrors she had witnessed. They were eyes that had seen the rise and fall of kingdoms, the birth and death of legends. She spoke of a curse, her voice trembling with the weight of the words. A curse that had been cast long ago, a curse that had lain dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. A curse brought upon them by the king's actions. The king, in his quest for power, had disturbed forces that were best left undisturbed. His ambition had set in motion events that could not be undone. She spoke of the dragon bones, ancient relics that held more than just the remains of a once mighty creature. They were the remnants of a being that had once terrorized the land, a being of immense power. They were not merely bones, she said, they were vessels. Vessels that contained the essence of the dragon, its spirit, its power. A power that was now stirring, awakened by the king's folly. Vessels of an ancient and malevolent force. A force that had been sealed away for centuries. A force that was now seeking to break free. The air around the bones seemed to shimmer with dark energy, a palpable sense of dread. A force that lay dormant for centuries. Now it stirred. The ground trembled, the air grew cold, and the shadows seemed to come alive. The dragon's spirit was awakening, and with it the curse, awakened by the king's ambition. Aldri listened. His blood ran cold. He had always been loyal to the king, but now he realized the gravity of the situation. The king's ambition had unleashed a force that could destroy them all. He had to warn the king. He had to make him understand the danger they were in. The old woman's words echoed in his mind, a dire warning that could not be ignored. He had to stop him. With a sense of urgency, Aldri mounted his horse and rode through the forest, his mind racing with thoughts of the impending doom. He knew that time was running out and he had to act quickly to save his kingdom from the dragon's curse. Section 6. The King's Transformation. Aldri raced back to the capital. The air crackled with unseen energy. The sky churned, a maelstrom of dark clouds. The castle loomed ahead, once a beacon of hope, now a silhouette of dread. He found Oberon in the courtyard, surrounded by the bones of dragons. The air throbbed. Oberon laughed. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light. He spoke of his invincible army, of his unstoppable power. He had become a puppet, a vessel for the ancient evil. Aldri drew his sword. He pleaded with the king. He begged him to see reason, but Oberon would not listen. He was lost to the whispers, consumed by the darkness. Aldri knew what he had to do. His heart ached. His loyalty ran deep, but his duty to his kingdom was greater. He charged. His blade met the king's. The clash echoed through the courtyard. The ground trembled. The dragon bones pulsed with a malevolent light. The air crackled with raw power. The ancient force was fully awake. The bones began to assemble, piece by piece, forming monstrous skeletons. Their empty sockets blazed with unholy fire. The courtyard became a battleground. Aldri fought with the strength of 10 men, but he was one against an army. Oberon, consumed by the ancient force, watched with cold amusement, his eyes glowing with dark energy. He reveled in the chaos he had unleashed, the destruction feeding his twisted satisfaction. He had achieved his goal, but at what cost? His humanity was gone, his soul forfeit to the darkness. He was a puppet dancing to the tune of an ancient evil, no longer in control. His victory was a hollow one, leaving him empty and alone. The kingdom of Eldoria was forever changed. The ancient evil, unleashed, ravaged the land. It would never be the same. Aldri, badly wounded, watched from afar, his heart heavy with sorrow. The king's ambition had doomed them all. The dragon's wake had unleashed chaos upon the world. A stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition.